So where in the world is Conegliano Valdobbiadene? Did I get it?
Yes,
I
yes,
did.
you get it.
All right.
Yes,
Okay,
perfect,
go ahead.
Perfect, yes. Conegliano Valdobbiadene is very close to Venice, in northeast of Italy, and the food part of the Alps.
Okay.
So you remember, very close to Venice.
That's the most important part.
Yes.
We fly into Venice.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Regine T. Rousseau, and for the past 10 years, I've built a successful business in the wine and spirits industry. I received my level 1 and 2 from the International Sommelier Guild and my level 3 certification from the Wine and Spirits Education Trust. True knowledge for wine extends beyond the pages of a book or magazine tasting notes. The vineyards are my classrooms. The workers are my teachers, and each glass of wine a lesson to be explored. Consider this an invitation to wine. Welcome to the class of a lifetime. Today's lesson, Conegliano Valdobbiadene Prosecco Superiore D.O.C.G. Let's learn about the who, what, where, when, why, and how of the area. So let's talk a little bit about what makes the area so unique, because, and I've said this before, most consumers think a Prosecco is a Prosecco is a Prosecco, but it's not, right? So tell us what makes the area unique.
Yes, not all the Prosecco is Prosecco. We have a Prosecco of Conegliano Valdobbiadene that is unique, first of all, because our area is a totally 100% hillside area.
Okay.
Second one, because it's a UNESCO heritage area. And third one, also because we started to produce Prosecco more than 300 years ago.
Diego, I think you're a poet, because last night you had this really beautiful way of explaining the area. You talked about an ocean and an island. Can you...
Yes. To explain the differences between our Prosecco and the general Prosecco, you have to imagine an ocean called the Prosecco. Inside of this ocean means 600 million of bottles. There is a small island called Conegliano Valdobbiadene. This island is only a hillside island, and this island produces only 100 million of bottles, but in this case the Conegliano Valdobbiadene Prosecco Superiore is unique, is special, is totally different with the ocean.
I love that. So if you were going to be stuck on one island, that would be the island.
Yes, yes, perfect. Now we have understood, yes.
I am so excited to talk to you. I love this process of like going deep and learning about the region. So here's my question for you. Who's making the wines? I think that once I get to know the winemaker, once I hear the story, I understand the wines better. And I also want to know about this really unique program that you were part of where you studied winemaking in high school. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's very important for us because in our area we have one of the oldest schools of winemaking in Italy. So for us it's very important to study in our area to understand all the things to producing the best way of Conegliano Valdobbiadene.
So are there, in terms of the wineries and the owners, is it families, co-ops? What's happening in the region?
Yeah, I think the family is one of the important things of Conegliano Valdobbiadene because there are not a lot of big companies in the area of D.O.C.G, but there are a lot of families, and all the families has a tradition, a story to produce the best Conegliano Valdobbiadene. In my family, I am the third generation, and in every generation we study something more to produce the best Conegliano Valdobbiadene. And now the young people like me, we are working to do some new interpretation of Glera on the hills of Conegliano Valdobbiadene.
Okay, give me, what does that mean? What's because it's been doing so well for so many years. What are you changing up? What should we look forward to?
I think we need to know more the soil the connection with the soil and the terroir. Because you know, different soil, different wine. So now the people know only one type of Prosecco. Our goal is to teach that in the Conegliano Valdobbiadene area you can find different type of Prosecco, different interpretation by the soil and the climate.
So tell me, why should consumers seek out the wines of Conegliano Valdobbiadene?
Because Conegliano Valdobbiadene is not just a wine, it's a group of different wines coming from 43 different terroirs, and this is very important for us to show people that we have different wines. Prosecco is not a single wine, Prosecco is a universe of different wines.
So, but most consumers don't really understand. They think a Prosecco is a Prosecco is a Prosecco. Now, give me a little bit more. What is it that it makes it unique?
Well, Prosecco is not just a brand for gasoline. And
What? What does that mean?
I mean that it's not a commodity. Prosecco is, in a glass of Prosecco you will find our history, our cultural heritage, and you will find, if you pay attention and look at the bubbles, in every single bubble you will look at every single vineyard that is part of our area.
Okay, I'm a poet, so what you just said is extremely poetic. Talk to the person at home who is at a wine shop, or maybe the sommelier who is creating a wine list. They can't say to a consumer, the bubbles tells a history. What do you want them to understand to make them see how unique the wines are?
The evolution of Prosecco brought the Prosecco to be something that is not just a poolside wine. It's something that can pair your food perfectly, because we have such a different approach to the production of Prosecco, and so you can pair Prosecco with different food. And I think that is important to give the opportunity to our grape to express in different ways. And we are master in working with the Italian method, with the Charmat method, in our area. I think it's one of the best areas in the world to work with Charmat method. But this must not refrain us to rediscover what was produced before 1930, when the first tank method has been installed in the area. So our is a sort of rediscovery of what we were doing in the past.
Are you saying that the traditional method was what was used in the past?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's interesting, because when we think about Prosecco, we talk about Charmat, and I didn't know that history.
Because we are so good in producing Charmat. That,
yes, you are. You're so good at producing a lot of things. So you're at home in Italy. I'm so jealous. Yes. When you're at home, when would you pour a glass for you and your friends? What's your favorite moment?
Okay, I would start a meal with an aperitif, with a glass of our wine.
Okay.
And then I would continue, for example, with a risotto. And we have really interesting vegetables in our area, really interesting local products, really genuine, that could be perfect for risotto.
I love that. I don't make risotto, but I'm going to make some just because you said that. So how do we learn more? There's nothing like drinking the wine in the area. So talk to me a little bit about tourism.
Okay, so actually our area is fantastic to visit in every time of the year, maybe especially from spring to autumn.
Okay.
There is this...
What's there to do? What can I do when I go
You
there?
can do a lot of things, a lot of different things. So of course, tasting the wines.
For
so
sure.
you can visit more than 200 wineries in our area. Then you have a lot of cultural attractions. So really nice historical center.
Isn't there like a big biking?
Absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely. If you're a lover of outdoor activities, there are a lot of options for biking tour. There are e-bikes also that you can rent.
Awesome.
You can do a tour with Vespas, or for example, an initiative that we recently launched in the area is the Cammino UNESCO, so the UNESCO trail. You can discover our area doing this hiking. There are 15 kilometers that you can do in 4 days, traversing our area from the west to the west.
Is this on bike or hiking? Or
hiking.
Hiking.
Yes.
Oh, so do we stop and have a little wine?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I don't know, but that sounds like a plan. So I'm coming to visit you for 4 days. We're going to drink and we're going to hike.
It's a nice plan.
Sounds good. High five.